times actually, but I've never posted any of them. But today we are going to be doing a watch collection. I don't really know what to do with my hands right now, so I'll just play with my ring. But we're going to be doing a watch collection video. I don't know if I love the way that I'm filming this. My tripod that I got yesterday isn't very tall, because I was originally just going to show my face, so I didn't need a very tall one. But things change, and I decided I'd want to do it like this way. But anyway, this will give you a nice close-up view of the watches. I've got 6 of them here, of varying prices, and also various periods of my life. But yeah, so with that being said, let's just jump right into it. I'm gonna go in order of when I bought them, and not all of these are set. Like this first one, for example, isn't set because I haven't worn it and it's an automatic, so it's, it hasn't been running. But let's just get right into it. So this is the first watch that I'll show you, and the first watch that I've bought and still have. I don't know the model number or anything, but it's a Swatch leather band, and it is automatic, clear case back, which for the price, I think I got this thing for like, I don't really remember, it was a while ago, but probably under 200 or maybe right around 200. But yeah, I'll start winding it, so it does work. And it's not self-winding, but for this price, no, I'm not too pressed about that. Try to get it in the center. But yeah, so it's got a date functionality. And as you can see, the second hand is right here, which is really annoying to me. If it's a chronograph, I understand why you would want to do that. But this is not a chronograph. So I'd rather just have the second hand going around the big way. But anyway, if you twist this for like 30 seconds or something, it'll be good. I don't know what the power reserve is on this thing, but it's not very good. Whoops. So, yeah, this is my first watch ever. I wasn't into watches when I bought this. I was traveling with one of my good buddies, and we were in Switzerland, in Geneva, and I was like, I want to get a watch. It's Switzerland, it's the watch place. I wasn't into watches yet, but and he had a cool Tag Heuer that his grandpa had given him and passed down to him. And so he was like, okay, let's go to the tag shop. And at this time, I was like, I didn't care that much about watches, and I was like, I don't really want to spend more than like $1,000 on a watch right now. So pretty low budget. I don't know if there are any tags for less than $1,000. But we walked in the tag shop and I was like, what do you got? And they're like, nothing below 6,000, which, by the way, is crazy because tags are not that expensive. I don't know if they just wanted to get rid of me or if they genuinely didn't have anything for less than 6,000 at that tag shop. But that's like, I would never pay 6,000 for a tag. But that being said, we went to the next best place, this Swatch store. And of course, every watch, there's like no watch over 300 in a Swatch store. And so this watch is a fairly good representation of my taste. I prefer leather bands to metal bands, and you'll see that as we go on in this. And I like these I like this style. And I prefer this to be gold, but silver is fine. It's a Swatch for less than a couple $100. I don't have any gold watches actually at all. But yeah, so this is my first watch. I wore it for a little while, and then I was at work one day. I was doing an internship, and I was wearing it, and it was like really quiet where I worked. I was doing like a corporate marketing internship. championship. And the ticking, just like, it was so loud on that day. I don't know what it was, but I could not stand it. It just, like, it got to me, and I was like, I'm losing my mind hearing this thing tick, because it does tick very, very loud. But, yeah, so then I stopped wearing it, but then I was back home for Christmas, and I think I was looking for the TV remote in my old bedroom to watch a show on the TV, and I could not find it, and so I just started digging through like old nightstand drawers, and I found this watch along with a couple other like really cool things that I was happy to find again. 2 pairs of AirPod Pros that I had lost. I'm very happy to have those back now. But yeah, so here it is. I mean, pretty awesome movement, honestly, for like under $200. Are you kidding me? So yeah, I'm happy with this purchase now. I wasn't for a time, but now that I'm into watches, I'm like, yeah, this was a cool first watch. I got an automatic first try. So that's that one. I didn't end up, I'll set that there for now. I didn't end up getting another watch for a couple of years after that. But that brings me to my next purchase, which I'm still, when I bought this watch, I still wasn't really into watches. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. I do like this watch, but for what I got it for, I probably would have picked something else now. But that being said, I am very happy with it. So here it is, a Cartier Tank Must. I got this watch in Chicago at the Cartier store. This is not the original band. This was a band that I got made at a shop in Denver, or not Denver, a shop in Boulder called John Woodward Allen. It's like a leather working place. Really, really awesome shop. If you're ever in Boulder, check them out. Get a wallet, get a belt. They do like custom leather work. And so this band is alligator leather. I think, can you call it alligator leather? Patent. But yeah, patent alligator leather. And this band really completely changed the whole watch, because this originally came with, and I can't believe this, because I got this watch, I guess I should tell you, so I got this watch for $3,200-ish, give or take a few, 100, or a couple hundred. And it came with a vegan leather strap, and so this was like a huge impulse buy. Me and my homie, the same homie who I bought this watch with, we were in Chicago. He goes to school nearby there, and so we met up in Chicago to just hang out, have fun, get good food, drinks, and do whatever. And so I was really into Tyler, the Creator at the time, and he was like heavy rocking Cartier watches, and I was like, dang, I really want a Cartier. And so, yeah, I just decided on a whim, I'm gonna go get one of these. I'm gonna go get a Tank, and it's tiny. I'll show it to you on my wrist. Give me 1 second, I gotta put it on. Yeah, and so at the time I was just like, I was set on getting the watch, so I didn't really care that it had the vegan leather. But it was an okay watch with the vegan leather, but I feel like the alligator band really made it a watch that, like, I was gonna sell it before I got the new band, but this obviously doesn't go with this outfit. Oh man, this is hard to film. Okay, yeah, there it is on the wrist. It's very small, very, very small. Yeah, it's a Tank Must, so it's a quartz, of course. I think you have to get a Tank Louis for it to not be a quartz, and those are double the price. I think even more than double the price. But yeah, I do have the other band, but it's not on the desk, so I'm probably not going to show you. It's just black leather. But yeah, so this watch bought on a whim, but now I am happy with the purchase. It's a nice dress watch. I don't wear it as much anymore. But I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful tank. The next watch I want to get, I think, is probably a Santos. So, you know, and the thing with the Cartier watches is like, if you look at a Santos online, I feel like it really doesn't do it justice. I like when a Santos in person is so beautiful and perfect. Yeah. But anyway, that's so that's that watch. I do like this watch quite a bit. So that brings me to my next watch purchase, which by this point I was properly into watches, and I knew a little bit about them. But that being said, this was another just like whatever kind of purchase. And that is this Casio World Time. Time isn't even said. I've never worn this a single time. It costs $27. And I haven't changed the links so that it fits. But I was on FaceTime with my homies. One of the homies that I bought these two watches with, and then one other one. And I was like, for $27, or like, I was like, I think I watched a YouTube video and someone was like, hey, this is a cool watch, especially for the price. And I was like, dude, I think I like the Casio World Time. I'm not huge on digital watches, but I was like, it's a cool watch, metal band. And I was like, and they're like, why don't you just buy it? I'm like, I looked it up on Amazon and it's like, it's $27. $27. Like, and so I just bought it. It's $27. And for $27, I stand by this purchase. I'll replace the links at some point and change the time. But yeah, I mean, for $27, bro, I'll take that any day of the week. But yeah, never worn. I have never worn this, and I kind of like it. I wouldn't pay more than $27 for it, probably. But yeah. Definitely not for everyone. I don't even know what these buttons are. Oh. I hope that isn't too loud. What does this button do? That's the light. And then this one. Oh, sick. Wait. Oh, the minutes aren't on time. But I could put it in the correct time zone. I'm not in LA time. But I'm going to leave it here. But yeah, it's my Casio World Time. First watch actually being into watches. And then that brings me to another quartz watch. Obviously, it's a digital watch, so gotta be quartz. But that brings me to my next purchase. And that is one of the most popular watches right now. It's cheap, and it says Omega on it. But this is the Omega Time Swatch Moon Swatch. So this is like in the same dial as an Omega Speedmaster, which is a very, very popular watch. It was the watch that went to the moon. I think James Bond wore it. I don't know, he's worn Omega. I think James Bond always wears an Omega. But the Speedmaster is a grail for a lot of people. It's not a grail for me personally, but it's still a cool watch. This is another quartz watch. It's the Mission to the Moon version, which is not from the original release, but I like this one because white is a cool color. I gotta replace the band. I'm gonna replace it with a rubber band. But it's got a moon phase here. That's Snoopy. This is also nicknamed the Snoopy, but it's got the Snoopy on the moon, so it just tracks the face of the moon, which is pretty cool. And then, yeah, it's a chronograph, so you press this and it starts timing. The second hand for just the regular time is right there, similar to this watch. Now, I don't mind the second hand being there on this watch because it's a chronograph. This one is tracking, the chronograph time, and these numbers It's called a tachometer. Helps you like figure out miles per hour, and it can really help you figure out anything. So like, yeah, let's say you drive a mile and it stops at, let's say I drove a mile in the time that we just did that. I would have been going about 96 miles an hour. That's what it would have told me. So pretty cool. Then you reset it like that. Yeah, so this thing only tracks up to an hour, I believe, timing wise. But yeah, it's a cool watch. You can see the band says Speedmaster, Mission to the Moon, Moon Swatch. Got a swatch right here. Omega right there. And yeah, so my friend from Boulder has the blue one. What is it? Mission to Neptune. The Mission to Neptune. It got really popular because somebody wore it. Some famous person wore it on like a red carpet. I feel like it was Daniel Craig, but that might just because I have the James Bond thing in my mind. But yeah, and so I was like, I like this. I wore it for a day when I was visiting him, and yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get one of these. He had a rubber band put on, which I really need to do. I hate this thing. Like, this is the worst. I hate this space. I also don't like how much branding is going on here. That's way too much. I don't want any branding. But yeah, so I'm not a big fan of Velcro straps. But yeah, I do like this watch a lot. It's cool. It's a quartz accurate time. I don't wear it super often, so like if I wore it every day, this thing I wouldn't foresee as lasting very long. It's no. What do they call this? What do they call this material? It's like they have a special word for it, but it feels pretty cheap, to be honest. But yeah, it is fairly waterproof. My homie wore it in the ocean quite a bit. I haven't ever tested it. I haven't had it with me when I was swimming ever. So yeah, that was the next watch I got, and now that brings me to my favorite watch in my collection, and by far my nicest watch in my collection, which is my Grand Seiko SPGM, or is it SPGA? Ah, man, the reference number is escaping me right now, but it's the Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani wore this when he signed his contract with the Dodgers, largest contract in MLB history. But this thing is sick. When I bought this watch, I decided that I wanted a Grand Seiko. I knew I wanted a Grand Seiko, and I kind of had my heart set on a Shunbun or a Snowflake. And so I went into the Grand Seiko store ready to buy one of those watches to the authorized dealer, and I looked at them and I was like, dang, these are both sick. But I also was like, but can I see some of your GMTs? And the person helping me brought me this one, and I was like, holy crap, this thing is gorgeous, good at first intent. I instantly liked it more than the other two watches. So the only sad thing is, this is not a spring drive movement. It's an automatic. You can see the movement there. So but as much as I wanted a spring drive movement watch, which is like the most accurate it's the most accurate non-quartz movement that exists. So quartz basically just means the watch has a battery in it, and that's going to be the most accurate. It's not going to lose any seconds every day. Automatic watches typically lose like 2 to 4 seconds on a good watch. Every day you're getting off, so you have to change. You have to fix the time, once a month ish. But the Spring Drive is like it's almost as good as a Quartz, real close, and it doesn't have a battery in it. But yeah, so this is it. This is exactly my type. There's only one thing that's different from my like perfect watch. But yeah, so it's got the brown crocodile band. What do they call this style? Kind of yellow. I don't think champagne is the right word, but yellowy, off-whitish, kind of, not off-white, but this color dial, I'm colorblind by the way, is my favorite color dial. The only thing that could make it better is if this was gold. But everything else about this is perfect. Like I said, it's a GMT, so it tracks 2 time zones. The silver hour hand is my time, where I'm currently at, and the blue hand is the GMT hand, and that tracks whatever time zone I want it to. I did set it to Japan, but it's not current. I think it's an hour either in front of or behind Tokyo right at this moment, because I've changed the time and forgot to change that back, but has the date function, as you can see. And it's just a beautiful watch. You can see the 24 hours markers. So the GMT hand moves at half the pace of the regular hour hand, which I think is super cool. Because it's 4. Let's just say it is Japan time. Like it's 4 in Japan, 4 a.m. And I know it's 4 a.m. because it's got the 24-hour time. If it went at the same rate as the other hand, it would be 3. But I don't know which 3. Obviously, it's honestly like I don't need this feature at all. The only other time zone that really matters to me, other than the one I'm in, is the one where my parents live and where home was, where I grew up. And that time zone is an hour behind my current time zone. So, and it's not worth setting a GMT to that time zone. So, I set it to Japan because Grand Seikos are made in Japan. And yeah, and so another thing cool, like I really struggled because I knew I wanted to get a nice watch, and I was like, I could have in my price range. This obviously isn't Rolex price. This one, I think I got this one for after tax. It was like $5,200, but I think it's like $4,900 retail. So obviously that's not Rolex range, but my price range that I was in when I was gonna buy a watch was Rolex price range. Now Rolex has, I didn't want to wait a year for my Rolex AD to have the watch ready, and I wasn't really interested in buying an aftermarket watch right now when I bought this. But yeah, so that was an option that I looked at, and then Omega's like I would have loved one of the new Seamasters. I don't like Speedmasters very much, but Seamasters, the new blue one, super sick, and I like the Aquaterra a lot. There were some IWC Pilot watches, and so all of those watches I'm talking about are Swiss watches, because Switzerland, like I said earlier, they're the watch place. So going with a Japan watch was kind of like, wow, I'm going with the Japan. But that being said, the Grand Seiko is very legitimate and should be taken, and are taken very seriously, up there with any Switch. I mean, they have the best movements literally in the world. They do watches better than Switzerland. And the other thing is, like, Swiss watches right now, if you don't know, It's not all made in-house. It just has to be assembled in Switzerland, stuff like that. These are all Japanese parts made by Grand Seiko, put together in Japan. It's like, this is not, like, this is a legitimate, just like in-house made watch. And so I love this thing so much. Super happy with this purchase. I got it the day I finished a semester of school, and I had straight A's. Which, that's not why I bought a watch, because I got straight A's in one semester. No, that's not a good enough reason to buy a watch. But I got it as it's meaningful in a few ways. Sobriety, and generally like a year of having my life together finally, which I'll happily talk about that story in another video, but this is not the video for that. So yeah, my favorite watch in my collection. I love this thing a lot. Anyway, that brings me to the last watch in my collection, my most recent purchase. I got it pretty shortly after the Grand Seiko purchase. I was really into pilot watches. I wanted a pilot watch. I wanted a Hamilton. I had just watched the movie Interstellar, which is one of my favorite movies. And in that movie, Merv is given a Hamilton watch so she can see the age difference, or like, so she could compare watches with her dad when he gets back to her, which, of course didn't end up being for like 100 years, but anyway. Yeah, so, pretty popular watch if you watch YouTube. The Hamilton khaki field mechanical. I got it in black. Again, I want to change this band, and I probably will. I'm not a big fan of it. But I do, everything else about this watch I like a lot. Yeah, so I wanted a pilot watch. This is a pilot watch, extremely legible, and it's also not too big on my wrist. I have a small wrist. Like 42 millimeter watches they don't really fit me for the most part. I think the Omega Swatch is 42 millimeters, but it's like a really small 42 millimeters. But this one is like 38 or 39. Yeah, it's a pretty watch. And this is like what I wear skiing. And for I wear this watch quite a bit for my non-dressed up occasions, which in general I dress pretty nice, so a lot of the time I'm wearing this. This is like, this is actually the one I'm wearing today with this like blue oversized hoodie. This is another dress watch. I pretty much don't wear this, to be honest, but I wanted to have it with me. I don't really have that much to say about this watch. Other than I don't know, it's not as accurate as my Grand Seiko. You can see it's minutes different. This one is on time. This one is a couple minutes off right now. But I like it a lot. You can see the hands are khaki. I like how the second hand has that little circle. I think the numbers look great. It's actually my only watch with numbers. And yeah, it's Hamilton. It's pretty cost effective, or pretty cost friendly for that. This is mechanical, so it's not self-winding. I've got to wind it. Yeah, no clear case back. Yeah, there's nothing worth showing back there. But it's an automatic watch, so. And I got it for, after tax, a little bit less than 700, like $680, $690. So not dirt cheap. Casio World Time. Or I don't think I said the price of this one. The Omega Swatch was like 300. The Moon Phase 1 is like $30 more than the other one, the non-movie. And I think they just made it Earth Phase, which if that was out when I bought this, I would have probably bought that. But regardless, I'm not gonna go back for it now. I don't want another Moon Swatch. But yeah, this is just my everyday. I don't have that much to say about it. I don't know that much about it. Hamilton, I think, is a British brand, but these are assembled and made in Switzerland. NATO strap or nylon strap. My only NATO strap watch. I could put this on a NATO, but I don't think it would really fit. Yeah, that's my watch collection. Let's see if I can get everything into frame. It's not great, but it'll work. Yeah, those are all my watches. I hope you guys liked this video. Tell me if you did or didn't. Tell me if you'd like what you'd like in the future. I want to do some videos with myself in it, talking about music. I'm super into music. I'm a music producer and a DJ. I'd love to do like album reviews in the future. I mentioned like getting like sobriety and stuff like that, and so I'd love to talk about that and like life advice and I don't know how I changed my life after being at a point where I was like pretty unhappy with myself. So I could talk about that story. I could do some like gaming content, like GTA, or recently I've been playing Stardew Valley. I don't play too many video games. I don't play video games that much anymore, but if I ever just want to ramble and I don't want to film myself, and I could throw some of that on. But yeah, I think that's it